Hey guys, so we're continuing with SAT Practice Test 2, Mod 2 for Part 2 in Math section. So let's just get started with question number 18. Triangle XYZ is similar to triangle RST such that X, Y, and Z correspond to R, S, and T respectively. The measure of Z is 20 and 2XY equals to RS. What is the measure of T? So I want to draw a triangle. Yeah, I'm terrible at drawing triangles. I know. And over here, I got R, S, and T. So, so R corresponds to X, S corresponds to Y, and T corresponds to Z. Make sure you don't make this mistake, friends. After that, the measure of Z is 20 degrees. So we call this 20. So if we have the corresponding triangle, which is similar to this, we basically can say that this will be 20 as well, which the question is asking for. So this will be C. Notice, guys, they're saying that 2xy equals rs. This is an unnecessary information. Sometimes they tend to trick you. They give you some unnecessary information which you won't need to solve the question, and you're just gonna feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this information. Well, guys, sometimes you don't need to use all of the information given. Usually you do, but there are some cases like this, which is basically proven by geometric proofs, and you just can say this is C. Okay, so just don't worry about every question, guys. Just make sure that you're doing great, you're studying, and after that, you should trust in yourself. Anyway, question number 19. One of the equations in a system of two linear equations is given. The system has no solution. Which equation could be the second equation in the system? So guys, if we have two linear equations which has no solution, you can also use this for other equations as well, but we're talking about linear equations right now. So if there's no solutions, we're just going to set these equations equal to each other, try to do that, and there will be some problems if there's no solutions. So we're trying to do it from the answer choices, because there's no other way to do it from the other than the answer choices, because you can create infinity many equations with no solutions for this one. Anyway, so let's just find y over here. Y equals to 6x plus 18. Guys, we have the same equation over here. We're definitely having a solution. We're having infinity many solutions in this case. So we're just eliminating A. Over here, we got y equals to 6x plus 22. And y also equals to, over here in this equation, y equals to 6x plus 18. So let's just set them equal to each other and see what's going to happen. 6x plus 22. Guys, I end up getting 18 equals to 22. Does 18 equal to 22? Literally, no. This is not true, so our equation does not have any solutions for answer choice B. Question number 20. What is the area in the square centimeters of a rectangle with a length of 34 centimeters and a width of 29 centimeters? Guys, so basically in this question, the important thing is sometimes they ask for square meters, and you basically find the answer for centimeters square, but the answer choice is meters square. So make sure that you're reading this correctly. We're actually trying to find square centimeters. So how are we going to do that? It's so easy, guys. 34 and 29. So we just multiply these guys with each other. So let me just grab my calculator and multiply 29 times 34. And I got 986 centimeters square. Yeah. Question number 21. The solution to given system of equations is xy. What is the value of x minus y? So guys, in this case, we have two equations. This is a system. We call this a system. And if I have two unknown variables, in this case, y and x, how are we supposed to solve this equations? We can't. We have to get rid of one variable, either x or y. So what is the method to get rid of a variable? So what I want to do is, in the first equation, I want to multiply with this with -4. So if I multiply this with -4, I just can add these two equations together, and then I can get rid of my y. So let me just write this down when I multiply with -4. -4y equals to -16x -4. And over here, I got 4y equals to 15x minus 8. So now you guys see that I have -4y and +4y. Now I just want to add these guys to each other. So I can manipulate the system and I can get my x value from this. So 0 equals to -x, -12. Very sweet. So now if I got this, x has to be equal to -12. My x is equal to -12. Negative. So if I got this, I just can plug x to either one of the equations and get my y value. Let's just plug it in this one because it's simpler. -12 times 4 is -48 plus 1 is -47 equals to y. So I got my y value, I got my x value. So it's the question is asking for x minus y. So I just write -12 minus 47. Guys, don't forget we have two negative signs, so we have to just make this a positive because we can when we multiply something with -1 to -1, we got positive. So after that, we got 35 as our answer choice. Question number 22. Well, how many distinct real solutions does the given equation have? So guys, we have a very simple formula, if you call, to solve this kind of questions. We just use, first of all, let me show you my standard form of equations. This is a standard form of quadratic equations where a, b, and c are constants. Don't get afraid when you see too many letters, guys. This is just a representative. We're just representing this. So there's nothing you should be afraid of. So after that, we're calling a term called delta, and delta equals to b squared minus 4ac. Guys, if there's three conditions. If my delta is less than 0, I have no real solutions. I have no real solutions. I have unreal solutions or imaginary solutions, if you call it. If my delta is equal to 0, which is in square forms, if I have a square, this will mean that I have delta equals to 0, and if delta equals to 0, I have one solution for my x. If delta is greater than 0, I got two solutions. So now let's just find delta and determine how many solutions are there for this given equation system. So delta equals to 5 square, 10 square, 10 square minus, actually let me do this, plus -4 times 5 times 16. After that, I got -20, -320, 100. So I got 100 minus 320 for my delta. My delta is equal to now -220, guys. So do you remember what I said in the case where delta is less than 0, which is negative? We have no real solutions. If I don't have any real solution, that means that there's no real solutions. We have imaginary solutions in this case. Question number 23. A certain park has an area of this much square yards. What is the area in square miles of this park? So guys, there's various methods to solve this kind of question. I tend to solve it like this. So 1 mile is equal to 1760 yards, 1760 yards, and x miles are equal to this many square yards, which is this. So I just cross multiply this and just solve for x. 118,63808 equals to 176,0x. Now, if I divide this, my calculator gives me 6,740.8 for my square mile area. So guys, there's various methods to solve this. You just can't say write this 808 yards, right? Yards, square yards, yard squares. Times, just do this if you're struggling with my method, times 1 mile over 1760 yards squared. So this yard squares go away, and you divide your number with this 1760, and you got your mile value, which is 6,740.8. Question number 24. Which of the following equation represents a circle in the xy plane that intersects the y-axis at exactly one point? Guys, if I have a circle, first of all, a circle is, when I write a circle equation, I just get x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. So where h and k is my center points for my circle. So this will be my x value in the circle, and this will be my y value in the circle. So I just got a circle center. This dot is my circle of my center of my circle. And after that, also I can represent this with hk. I get a radius for something like this, and I just draw a circle. And this equation is actually doing this. Okay, so after that, we're trying to find a place where this intersects my y-axis once. It should just touch it once, like a tangent line. This is a tangent line they're trying to say. So in this case, I have to be able to, after I subtract my radius from x, when x minus radius, I should get 0. So I would understand that my circle is touching my y-axis. So in this case, my center will be 8 to 8, and my radius is 4. So if I subtract 8 minus 4, I'm just gonna get 4, and this is not touching my y-axis. Also over here, I got the same. 8 minus 4 is 4, and over here I got 4 minus 4, which will give me a 0, and this will mean that I am actually touching my y-axis in that specific circle. Question number 25. In triangles ABC and DEF, angles B and E each have measured 27, and angles C and F each have measured 41. Which additional piece of information is sufficient to determine whether triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF? So guys, let me just draw two triangles, ABC, and this will be 41, and this will be 27. Therefore, in here, I got 112 degrees, since I can subtract these two numbers addition from 180, because 180 degrees is equal to a triangle's degree. So if I have 27 degrees and 41 degrees, 27 plus 41 is 68, and when I subtract this from 180, I just end up with 112. So this will be my angle. And also I have a similar triangle. A similar triangle is a triangle which I have the same degrees. I have the same amount of degrees, but not necessarily the same length. It doesn't have to be the same length of the triangle. It may be, and we call this a congruent triangle. And actually it's saying that this triangle is congruent. So we have to have the same length if this is a congruent triangle. So we are also given the information that DEF, hold on, let me, have the same angles. So over here, C have F have 41. So this will be 41, 27. And since we're doing the same thing here, we got in 112 degrees over here. These are all degrees, guys. So after that, we know that this triangle is definitely similar, but they're asking how can I determine if this is congruent or not? The measure of angle A, definitely wrong, guys. This is not the way to find it, because I already know the measure of angle A, which is 112. The length of side AB. Guys, side AB won't help me because I want to compare the lengths of this triangle to find a ratio. A ratio is when you divide two triangle and just obtain a value, and you can just find your lengths from that ratio. If I have a ratio of 1, that means that my triangles are congruent. So let's just eliminate B. The lengths of sides BC and EF, which is the correct answer because I will be able to compare my triangles. So never, like 99% of the time, don't choose D because they tend to be wrong if you're not sure of the question. 2 data sets. All right. Question number 26. Two data sets of 23 integers, each are summarized in histograms shown. For each of the histograms, the first interval represents the frequency of integers greater than or equal to 10, but less than 20, so on and so forth. What is the smallest possible difference between the mean of data set A and the data set B? Guys, notice that our data set A is containing integers between 20 to 60. However, in this case, I got 10 to 50. Therefore, this means that my data set A is my mean of my data set A is definitely going to be greater than data set B. So this is a helpful information. So if data set A is greater, I want my data set A to have the least amount of numbers and data set B to have the greatest amount of numbers, amount of integer, not amount, but value it like I want it to have the greatest value of integers for B and the least amount of least integers for A. So I can make this more closer to each other. The averages, I want them to be closer. So what will I do is over here, I want to get the least amount of value I can possibly. So over here, I'm just gonna get 20. So 3 times 20 plus 30 times 4 plus 7 times 40. 7 times 40 and plus 9 times 50. 50. All divided by 27 because I'm sorry, 23, because I have 23 integers. Over here, I will do the same, but not this exactly because I can't pick 20 over here because it's saying it has to be less than. The second number is less than, so I just maximally can get 19 over here. So this will be 3 times 19 plus I'm sorry, 3 times 19 and 4 times 29, 4 times 29 plus 7 times 39, 7 times 39 plus 9 times 30, 9 times 49. 9 times 49, all divided by 23. So I did what I had to do. I made this values more closer to each other to get the closest mean value. And after that, what we can do is we're just going to plug this into our calculator and find the difference, which the question is asking. And after that, if you plug this into your calculator and if you subtract the data, mean data, which is A, and subtract that from B, you're just going to get 1. If you subtract the mean of data set A, and minus this data set B, you're gonna get 1. Over here, this is the last question, guys. I believe in you. You got this. A right triangle has legs with lengths of 24 and 21, which, if the length of this triangle hypotenuse is in centimeters, can be written in this form. D is an integer. What is the value of D? Very easy question, guys. We got this. Don't worry. So this will be 24, this will be 21, and this will be 3 times radical D. First of all, guys, I want to make this more simpler. So I want to divide this triangle with 3. I can do that. So radical D, 8 and 7. So guys, I got 7, 8, and D. So I have a theorem, a Pythagorean theorem, and this means that a square plus b square equals to c square in a triangle, in a right triangle looks like this. The square root of lengths, the addition of the square root of lengths are equal to the square root of hypotenuse, which is the longest side of a triangle. We just got this. So what we can do is we're just going to square these guys, and then we're going to find our d. 49 plus 64, which is square of 8, and this will be square of 7, will be square root of d. So I just get rid of the square roots, and I end up with 113 equals to d, which will be my answer. D is 113. So guys, that was it for today. We finished SAT practice test 2 for math section, both modulus. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know on the comment section below.